Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. So guys, just before we start, a quick disclaimer: anything we discuss is just for educational purpose only. There's no financial advice. We are not financial advisors. This is all educational. All right, so guys, another solid day. Actually, it was a pretty crazy day. The FOMC was a dud, but without FOMC, there was so much going on. Theme of the day, stable coins, which we will talk about a little bit. We'll discuss all our trades and winners and losers today. Overall, big day in the community. We had in the morning where we had like 18% people red, but by the end of the day we did turn most of those people green. You can see that. So let's see how we did today. We will recap all, and maybe you guys can learn something from this as well. Before we start, just a quick introduction to anybody who's new to our X accounts, new to our YouTube, or new to our community. These trade recaps, everything I discuss is mostly what I share on X or on YouTube, or mostly from my community. So how we navigate the stock market is we trade a repeatable trading system called Ripster EMA Cloud System that thousands of traders across the world use to trade consistently in the markets, keeping their losers small and their winners big. So every morning, me and my team, we create a game plan for the day. The game plan, we create an initial game plan. We have a support pivot. We have a resistance pivot, and based upon that initial game plan, we trade all day. So this is our initial game plan. We have breaking news alerts, earning plays, index stocks, upgrades, downgrades. We have that planning. We do that live in the pre-market half an hour before the open. We do it live on the screen share. And also we have something called day 2, day 3 strategy. We trade these day 2, day 3 setups in the community. Circle was a big day 2, day 3 setup. We will discuss that in our community. If whatever the setups triggers, we focus on that, and I guide the traders on those setups, and I'll show you my timestamped guidance there. We also share the levels for the SPY, SPY, QQQ indexes, Mag 7, that helps us on a trend day. Traders can use this and Ripster Cloud System to trade. We also share crypto levels. As you see, coin was a big mover today. We share these crypto levels whenever crypto is running. It helps us to trade the crypto stocks. In addition, we also trade futures. We provide the levels for the futures in the pre-market, so the traders can trade with all these resources using a repeatable system and find opportunities in the market. I'm usually live on the voice first few hours of the market open, but a day like big day like today, Wednesday, I was on voice all day. I was literally on voice all day, guiding the traders through the trades. There were just so many opportunities. We catch so many opportunities. We have so many tools in our community. We have 3 option flow scanners. We have star scanner. We have breaking news alerts. We have voice breaking news alerts. We take a look at bookmap, order flow, hold, unhold, and a lot of tools, right? Those tools are like $500-600 a month, which we provide free for the traders in the community. Because we are an educational community where we do not focus on spoon feeding alerts or signals. Our focus is education, trading together as a community, and we are one of the largest trading communities online. And that's what our focus. Anyways, we will recap all the trades and we will go through winners and losers. We had a couple of losers today, but overall huge day. And we will discuss all the setups and how our system helped us to navigate the markets today. So let's start. So let's start with the SPY QQQ today. So what was SPY QQQ doing? So SPY QQQ for most of the day, in the morning in my pre-market planning, I told traders there's FOMC today, so be careful of any choppy action. And didn't really do much. There was nothing much, but we will talk about the trade we took in the morning, loser that we took in the morning, a little Amatuer move, and then we took the long curls that we'll discuss. So let's see what was the plan on SPY QQQ this morning. The plan on SPY QQQ was pretty simple. It was FOMC decision today. I told the traders to be cautious on chop. long the market if VIX breaks 21, 2050. If VIX breaks to the downside, we will long the market and trade versus the 1 hour MTF cloud. So we have our 1 hour MTF clouds to trade with, only long if VIX breaks and we push over the MTF clouds. So that was the plan for us this morning. So let's see what happened. So if you see here, right, that's QQQ, we take a look at SPY as well. The initial move on SPY and QQQ were to the downside here. So you see that the initial move was the downside. So that was the Amatuer candle, right? So we did try to short that, but again, VIX was not really dumping right at the open, so not really pushing right at the open. You see that VIX was kind of weak. So we knew that VIX is kind of weak, and so that means the SPY is going to bounce. So when the SPY bounced over these clouds, once it started curling, that was the long. So let's see here what was our guidance in the pre-market on the SPY QQQ trade setup. So let's check here. So SPY beat start of the day, no longs, and we were watching the pre-market lows. The traders were shorting it for the Amatuer moves. But right away the VIX started to fade, and that's when we got the calls. This is where you cut your long shorts, right? It's an Amatuer move. This is nothing new. You can always not trade Amatuer moves. If you trade Amatuer moves, you have to be super confident, stay top of it, and you have to cut it as soon as we call over the 512s. So as soon as we call over the 512s, I told the traders it's a 512 or curl long, and I did tell them to watch VIX. We're going to flush to 20 and then the market can bounce. So then we came over 10 a.m. You see this is the MTF cloud. You see this is the MTF cloud on SPY. So long here, long here, long here, and this MTF breakout. I gave the stops at 530. You see I gave the stops at 530 for the QQQs. I gave the stops at 598.79 for SPY. And from there we got our MTF breakout and we pushed higher towards the pre-market high target. We met that target. We did push a little bit more, and we did put little bit more into 1030s to 532s. Our target was this, but we got a little bit more. Same on SPY, we pushed over the pre-market highs, and you see that we ran like couple of bucks from that curl. So a couple of bucks, a decent long green trade. And after that, once it's pulled back, we just got out. We got out on this breakdown as well. After that, it was just a chop all day. There's nothing too much to discuss about FOMC. The rate, they didn't cut the rate, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that today. But the point is, there was nothing to do. There was a little flush from MTF. Some traders scalped it, but there was nothing to do on the market, right? If you trade this action, you lose. You trade this action, you lose. There was no setup. The only setup today was this long. Maybe the scalpers could short here, but it was tough to trade this action if you're trading SPY QQQs or NASDAQ ES futures. It's you need to be really good scalper to do it, but these were not an A+ setups. This was a B+ setup. So this was a good long. This long helped us with a lot of setups in the market. We didn't really look too much into Magnificent 7 today, but Amazon and few other names were strong at the open. You see that. So same time when SPY and QQQ are curling, Amazon is curling, so you could take those trade longs. Again, Ripster EMA Clouds, right? The clouds are telling you where to long. They are giving you a good pivot. You use the support levels, resistance levels to manage your trade. So that was SPY QQQ, guys. You can see the VIX rejected from 21. That was the pre-market planning. That's how we longed it, and that's how this was the long setup. Amatuer loser, and then the call long winner. Let's go to the next. All right, so next one I'm going to start with is ASTS. So let's look at what was our plan on ASTS today. Let's take a look here, ASTS. So the ASTS was on our game plan this morning. So ASTS was, ASTS has a personality. It always makes a big move. It always runs. So you need to know that personality. That's why I made ASTS. I made ASTS as a top red play. Red means top focus play. So you can see that ASTS was a top focus there for us, and the plan was to trade versus 1 hour MTF. The resistance was 41.80 to break out long. Right at the open, I saw the strength. I told the traders to long it, and we saw the pre-market breakout. I said, put your stops at 41, long versus 41. You could long that pullback. You see 41 never broke. 41 never broke, and the breakout was 42, and you just have to be patient. Wherever you're buying it, you have to be patient, right? If you're buying 42 calls, you just need to respect. You need to respect the stock levels, right? The 49 is not breaking. You need to hold, and you need to make sure you buy closer to that 512 call level. 512 call, 512 call. So some traders panicked, but I guided them to make sure that you don't really need to panic. As long as our stops are holding, you really don't need to panic. You can size small and then add into if we break out of the 42. And then came the 42 breakout. You see, I gave the 42 breakout in the morning only, and then we gave our 42 breakout, and then we hit a 42.50. That next breakout, there was a big level, and then we pushed higher. 42%, 42 calls went 100%, and that's when I told the traders to sell some. Then came our another pullback. And the stop side at that time were 42.45. And then came the midday call. The system still did not tell you to sell it fully. And then again we pushed back towards 44. Our final target was 45, but too bad during the FOMC flush we stopped out on the 512s. It did bounce from 34.50 and did push towards the 45 level, but we did close, and it was a beautiful trade. Even for the option traders, it was a decent trade. As you see here, everything lifetime guidance, you see that the 42 calls were 70-80 cents, and it went as far as 280, right? So if you were like, you just had $700, you could turn it into $2,400, $2,500. So because you just need to respect the system, you just respect the charts on that. And if you're trading the shares, it was pretty good setup as well. 41.50, you buy 1,000 shares, you risk $500, you are making a couple of grand there as well. Beautiful trade. Pre-market planning in front of you guys. You can pause the screen and review it, and live timestamped guidance here as well. Beautiful trade. Not only that, you see that it was a beautiful daily breakout, right? Never ignore the daily chart. It was a daily breakout on ASTS. Let's look here on ASTS. If you want to look at ASTS, it was an all-time high breakout. So all-time high breakout makes it an A+ setup. That's why you stay patient, you let it work out. Beautiful breakout on ASTS, all-time highs. Beautiful move. All right, so next one we're going to look at is TMC. So let's see what was TMC doing for us. Let's take a look here. TMC. So TMC was also on our game plan. Let's go back to the game plan. Let's see. TMC had a news, waived the limitation on the Class B warrants. So, no warrants, and it's already a hot sector. I think it's on the rare mineral side, and it's already been running and has had a good catalyst to run. So the plan on TMC was 50 breakout long over 570, 580, 1 hour MTF support below, right? So it was an 52-week high breakout, and that's what our plan was. And as soon as I saw that it's pushing over the pre-market highs, that was a long. I told the traders to long it. You can watch the pullbacks. Ideally, you should be long right away, because you see that 34.50 is holding. You see the pre-market highs breaking out. You take long on that, and you stay long. And it pulled back a little, but it was looking good. I told the traders 680 break, next target 7. So we broke out of 680. We hit our target of 7. After that, we moved the stops to 670. It hit 730, and finally when it broke down our 512 clouds, we exited. So you see that it was a decent move. You could make $1 almost, risking 30-40 cents. Beautiful good risk reward trade on there. Let's see how their options were. Let's look at we can look at the 6 calls. Those ones ran from 40 cents to $1. Easy 120% trade on that TMC as well. Beautiful. Let's go to the next one. All right, so let's look at the next one. The next one we're going to discuss is MRVL. So let's see what was our plan on MRVL. Let's see how we traded it. Let's take a look. So MRVL was on our game plan again. Focus play, highlighted as a red play, 71.72 support, 73.50 resistance, bullish bias, careful of 512 breaks. But as soon as the market opened, I saw the strength. I told the traders the long is confirmed. The risk is 73.50 area. So you long it, your risk is like $1. As it started to move up, you see 951, I told the traders to move the stops to 74. We moved stops higher. It pushed to 77, right? Even if you added at 75, you got a couple of dollars there. Your risk, not a great risk reward, still decent. 1 risk to 2 reward trade here. Did break 512, we exited. You could also short it there. Nothing too, pretty easy setup, nothing too complex. Here's the live guidance. Let's go to the next one. All right, so let's look like for next one. Next one, we're going to look at a loser we had this morning. I mean, there's still time to make money on that, but we are looking for a good trend move. So let's take a see what was the plan. It was an earning play, not a focus play. I didn't highlight it as a red. You know, they guided higher EPS and 124.50 support, 126.50 resistance, long if 512 holds. I saw the strength as soon as it started to break out a pre-market high. I told the traders to long it. It did push towards 129. I mean, if you got 127 or 127.50, you could make a dollar 50 there, but then it pulled back all the way back, and then we stopped out here and took a loss on that. You know, I was waiting for a bigger move, but of course you have to move the stops up, right? If you move your stops a little up and then you know, but the clouds were too far away, so that pullback really was, you know, took a lot of the profit out, and that's why we got a loser there. Let's go to the next one. All right, so let's start with Circle. So let's see what was happening with Circle here. So Circle, you know, a lot of things happen with Circle. So Circle was the recent IPO. The Circle is on the stable coins. So what is a stable coin? Stable coin is a coin, crypto, which is stable, backed by US dollar, right? It doesn't fluctuate with like Bitcoin. It's basically your digital currency, you know, and it's how, you know, you can move money electronically, save money electronically. It's a bit different than Bitcoin. I'm not a crypto expert, so I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm still doing a research on all the stablecoin stuff and impact on fintech. But anyways, the big deal was the Senate passed the bill on stablecoins yesterday, which has high likelihood of passing House as well. Trump will sign it. Trump is very bullish about it, making stablecoins mainstream and being part of the payment systems. So we'll talk about the next few sections. We'll cover all this. So anyways, the Circle is only pure play stablecoin setup in the market when they IPO'd at $70. You know, today it was flagging. It was on our game plan always, because we have it on our game plan because of the setup, right? Daily flag. Let's go to our pre-market plan here. The pre-market plan on Circle was pretty clear. Circle price near all-time highs. We mentioned that. Focus is red. Resistance 157. Support 151. So that means once the resistance breaks out, we are looking to long it, right? So that's a simple setup. So what happened in the morning? Let's go back here. When I saw that Circle is breaking out of that range that I built and then breaking out of the 157 as well, so I told the traders it's a long. I mentioned them it's bullish. I gave a stops of 154, 153. Initially I gave the risk of 153 to long. Right here you see 941. This is where I gave the long, so a couple of dollars risk. Stops at 154. Then I gave the breakout of 160. I mean, I say a lot of guidance on the voice, so you won't really see it here. So let me see here. So you see this, all this, what I'm showing you guys here. I'm showing you this pre-market high breakout. Then yes, this is the level I gave of 160.50 first target. Then I gave the second target of 164, and you see this 164. And this was the breakout. And then once we had that breakout, I told the traders we're gonna you know, make a next leg up. I gave the 170 target on that, and once we hit over 170, I told the traders to sell some. You can always roll into the further options. You know, Circle options, some of these options went crazy today. You know, let's say you buy over 170, you turned your $1,000 into, let's say, $3,000. You take 500, 600, 700 of them, throw it into the further lottos. So anyways, Circle, once it started to push, I gave the stops of 170. And then we had a flag break. I mentioned the flag break right here. From that flag break, we pushed towards 184. No need to cut, no need to pike, need to hold. And then there was another setup here. And my continuous guidance on Circle was do not cut, do not cut. We're going to push, we're going to push. You see there was a 512 calls. Our stops never hit. Then I moved the stops at 183. So once we started to call right here, I gave the stops of 183. You could trade that. There was many opportunities to trade it midday. You could long it here, you could long it here. These are the 512 midday long calls, right? So when I give you the stops, you can long it there. That's not a big problem. So we did sell most of it at 200. Some of the traders were swinging it. If tomorrow was not Thursday, like today, then you know, would have swung it as well, but it's still squeezing to 216. It's a kind of gamma squeeze happening as well. Their options expired on Friday. If you see that the options went 1400%, but a lot of traders, there were like 22% traders took 1000% on those options. 22% of the traders, 25% traders took 500% on these calls. We'll talk about coin as well, but circle, insane move. So the thing with these setups is you need to know the personality, right? Like I showed you need to know the daily breakout chart. You need to know the fundamental, the news. Even I was not pretty aware of all that news earlier, but it was on our game plan. We did study that stablecoin impact of stablecoin, and if you are aware of that, if you are ready for it, there's a reason I make it a red, then you will make life-changing money, because it is going to cover a lot of your losers. With one trade you will be done for the week, done for days, sometimes done for the month, depending on how you trade that based upon your risk reward. So definitely a beautiful trade setup. All the way started from 154 all the way to 200. That was an insane move, over $50 move on Circle. Amazing trade for the traders in the community. Let's go to the next. So let's look at coin today. So what was happening on coin? So coin, it was on our game plan. We can look at here, highlighted as a red play. SEC was Coinbase seeking approval for the tokenized equities. That time it was all right. Coin, it was not a big news that time. It was still moving. I mean, it was still a long setup for us. But as soon as there was a chatter about the stable coin, and we already know the stable coin, the Senate confirmed in the hearing about, not in the hearing, they approved the stable coin bill. At that time, it was huge news for it. It was huge news for it, right? News came right away. I tweeted about it as well. Let's see if I can show you that. So you see that I tweeted about Coinbase, so there was initial news. There was the first news on Coinbase that was about the stable coin. I tweeted it as well. Of course, we had a news much faster in the community. I did tweet about another news as well. So anyways, from that perspective, the coin was long. I did tell traders not to chase big sizes, but you can always add small, right? You can always add small, a starter position. Lottos, your risk, you're happy to risk. But you see there was a long in the morning. This was a flag breakout long. This was a long here on the previous day breakout. Then there was a long here from the Thursday breakout. And you already remember that coin had a lot of news about the Bitcoin credit card, right? Now on the top of it, stable coins. Now on top of it, the payments methods. So everything is so bullish. So something that's even more important that we need to cover here was this chart setup. I tweeted out this chart. I did tell the traders that it's going to be a nice swing as well. So I set up. It's the best looking setup in the market. You see that we were trading at 268 right now, right under this breakout. Look carefully. This is something you guys need to learn and find for yourself. And of course, once you break out, your target is 300 on the swing trade. But now look at it, how we ended the day on coin. Let me show you right here. So I just showed you that, and look here. You see that? That ran another $30 since, or from where I posted that breakout. So I gave this breakout to the community traders as well. I did tell them that it's going to break out, it's going to go high, and a lot of traders longed on the news. And I gave the stops I gave on the, let's see what the stops I gave here. So I gave the first target of 275, 276 based upon this candle. We hit that 275, 276. Then I gave the 280 target, psychological number 280. There was a seller at 280 that was trying to stop it, but once the seller was cleared, next leg up. So you need to be smart at reading the tape. I was continuously reading the tape, continuously reading the order flow to guide my traders to hold on to coin, not sell completely, take profits, roll, especially in the option trader. You can see that how this level held 280. Support became resistance, how this level, this area, 284, 285. There was a seller here. Once that seller cleared, next target I gave was 288. So then we continued to push another. Then what happened was, it continued every time it pushed to 512, it pushed higher and held our stops. I gave the stops at 285. We held it. Now let's see here. The final target I gave was 295. We did almost hit that. We pulled back, and then we hit our 295 target. Then it pulled back on FOMC. At that time, I told the traders, put the stops under 289. If that breaks, we get out. And from that 289, it ran another almost $10. because my target was 300, right? Held our stops. So no BS, guys, no BS, no hindsight. Everything I'm showing you is the lifetime guidance. I'm showing you the setup before and after, how we traded it in the community. Stable coins, will post some more research, but there's so much bullish news on coin. If that's what our next trades are going to be about, how it impacts the payments and the process in the fintech world. How big this stable coin thing is. So let's take a look. So before we go there, make sure you see this before and after on the coin. The setup on the before and after that I want to share in the community before, and then pushing higher after on this weekly breakout. So I'm very proud of this setup. As you see that when I post a setup, I'm confident about that breakout. Either we are swing trading or day trading. So make sure next time this happens, you're looking at your daily charts, your weekly chart, you're analyzing the macro news, and most of all, you are ready in the pre-market like we were on the coin. Let's go to the next one. So since coin was running, I also gave a long on hood to the community members right here. The good thing was hood was right here. Even when the news came, the coin was pushing on the stablecoin news. Hood was still like at a decent level, right? Long, you see that right here, breakout, flag breakout. Your risk stops right here. You take it all the way. We did stop out here on this flush, but it bounced from 34.50 and pulled forward. But there was a decent couple of dollars trade on hood as well on this news. All right, so let's look at two of the when this news came in, I tweeted about that. Let's see if I can show you that. So I tweeted about this news that stable coins, credit card, the payment methods can move through the stable coins, right? Like I said, stable coins is a crypto which is stable, never changes value, equivalent to US dollar, backed by US dollar. It will always have your US dollar value if you buy that digital stable coin which is backed by US dollar, right? It's just an electronic way of transferring instead of Bitcoin, which moves volatilely. You will always be transferring it as a digital dollar. So if we do that, then what happens is, the people are going to move to these different names, right? If the payment is going through Coinbase, if the Walmart is directly taking your stable coins, right, you don't really need the credit cards. If the Amazon is taking stable coins, you don't really need the credit cards. So that's the news hit, and that was our news right here. When it hit, it broke the MTF cloud. A lot of the traders in the community was short on it. Beautiful was there. Let's see here on that. So you can see that it was let's see here. Yeah, so even a lot of traders on the Twitter, you can see Indy, he killed the V, he was a short on V. A lot of traders in the community were like all over MasterCard and Visa, and we get these news right before anyone, like on our news bots, which are a state of art news bots we have. So we always anyways, not too much to talk about here. You short it, you do not buy it. You short on the base pair flag, you short on this pop, you short on the MTF, you short this fail. So MasterCard and Visa were decent news plays for us in the community. All right, let's look at some other plays here. JBL, our day 2 long. Let's see here from JBL. I teach you about day 2 longs every day. So let's look here at JBL, right? So JBL was our day 2 setup. JBL day 2 setup. Let's take a look. So you see that JBL was a top play here, top earning, top day 2 play, right? 204 resistance, 185 support, 198 support actually. So if you see that JBL did was the part of the thing with the day 2 setups is you wait for holding the 3450 clouds and longing it. So it was a long here. Breakout, yesterday highs pushed toward 207. So you trade long versus this area 200. You could easily make $6 per share, risking $1. And there's so many plays running today. So I mean, it was just beautiful, right? Breakout was 204, 203. So that was really good. There was another day 2 which really didn't work. That was APPS. Difference between APPS was it was not at all-time high like JBL, and it pushed under the clouds, failed call. So it was, if this call was a loser there, but it was not the same setup as JBL, so it didn't really work that way. So Let's look at some other setups from the, there was a technical setup on CRDO. RGV guided it pretty good for the traders in the community. CRDO, what was CRDO? CRDO was a breakout over 81, right? So these are the technical setups you need to chart. You need to chart your setups on chart. So you see that if I go to the daily chart, the CRDO was a nice technical breakout here. So that's why we gave it as a technical breakout, and a lot of traders in the community traded it long. Nice easy setup for the winner, CRDO. You can see that the guidance from the traders, Explorer was on top of it. The RGV bought it at 82s, ran to 87. So it was a simple breakout trade, simple technical trade. Sometimes the technical trades fail, sometimes they work really nicely. So it met our 80, 60, 50 targets. Great guidance by our senior trader RGV on that CRDO. Similar setup was DDOG, not on my game plan, but the traders talked about DDOG in the morning, and I'll show you what was the setup on DDOG. So the setup on DDOG was this weekly breakout. You see this? This was a beauty. Weekly breakout. You need to find these setups, guys. Weekly breakout chart setup on CRDO. These are important technical setups you need to learn for your swing trading, day trading. They're always going to help you, right? So in some market environments, technical setups work flawlessly, and some environments, they don't really work that flawlessly, right? So that was that, guys. Anything else? Yes, we tried to long First Solar as well. There was nothing really special there. It did push a little bit for us on First Solar calls. From here, I mentioned it on the voice, push to 150. 150 is a big psychological level. 150 was the target I gave, and then it broke down, then you exited. All right, so that was it, guys. Amazing day. Hopefully you guys learn from it. The key is to follow the system and be prepared, be ready. Just was a crazy day. I mean, we're done for the week. So we'll see what Lord of Friday brings. We'll be watching coin for a 300 breakout as well. We'll see circle might pull back a little bit, kind of extended. So we'll see what we get. All right, I'll post the research what I found on stablecoins. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.